shelling has continued in Kyiv and Chernihiv, despite Moscow saying it would pull back from the regions at yesterday's talks in Istanbul. Today, Russia said nothing very promising had emerged from the face-to-face meetings. Now, Turkey is playing a leading role in the ongoing peace negotiations between the two sides. Earlier today, I talked to Kemal Kirisci, a senior fellow at the Center on the United States and Europe's Turkey project at the Brookings Institution. I started by asking him why Turkey is so important in the peace process.
Yeah, my personal opinion is that this is an important breakthrough, in the sense that the Turkish side, as a result of an ongoing diplomatic effort, succeeded in bringing together the two sides for an initial engagement. As you also underlined, it's not very clear as to what has been achieved in concrete terms, other than the parties have sat around this table and that Russia has announced that they will be relieving to some extent the besieging of Kyiv and Chernihiv in Ukraine. Time will tell how far this is going to take place. And on the other side, the Ukrainian President Zelensky has once more underlined that they are prepared to accept a neutral status for Ukraine, and Ukraine will not attempt to become a member of NATO. However, he is seeking guarantees for Ukraine's security, and amongst the countries he lists is also Turkey, which is not very surprising to me, given the close relationship that Turkey has had with Ukraine as well as with Russia.
Okay, well, let's look at it more from the Turkish point of view. I mean, the government there described these talks as the most positive so far. Can Turkey ease the tensions between Ukraine and Russia that are smoldering?
I think the Turkish side, and then especially the Turkish president, has been very keen to present his services as a mediator. However, I think there was a very sensible step that was taken during the run-up to the meeting yesterday, which redefined Turkey's role as a facilitator rather than mediator. And a mediator inevitably is a much more ambitious task. And I think this has been well received, particularly from the Russian side. And I understand that the Turkish side recognized that the Russian President Putin is not always very comfortable with countries that are coming forward to mediate the conflict as opposed to facilitate an agreement between the two sides.
Right, but whether or not Turkey's mediation eventually leads to a ceasefire in Ukraine, is it your sense that President Erdogan has succeeded in his goal of showing that Turkey can be a constructive player in Europe?
Let me underline once more that they are facilitating the two sides to reach a ceasefire rather than a mediate one. But the answer to your question, I think, is a yes for the time being. And I think there is growing recognition among commentators that if from this process does emerge a resolution of the conflict in Ukraine beyond a ceasefire, I think the Turkish president will enjoy claiming some credit for that particular achievement, and he needs in his relations with the European Union as well as the United States.
And that was Kemal Kirisci, Senior Fellow at the Center on the United States and Europe's Turkey Project at the Brookings Institution.